All right, welcome to the Billabong Pipe Masters Roundtable discussion. Former world champ Sonny Garcia, Charger Mark Healy, and Ian Walsh. You guys have had a ton of experience out at Pipeline specifically, so thanks for coming in. Well, let's start with you, Mark. Just a little word game we're going to play. What's the first word that comes to mind when I say Pipeline?
Blood.
Blood. Why do you think about blood?
I don't know. Whether it's like in your blood and it's something that you want, it's just Pipeline's the slap in the face. It's real. I've shed a lot of blood out there, and I don't know. I think of that place, and it's like glory, pain, sorrow. It's the full gambit of emotions. And I don't know. I guess that's what pops to mind.
Sonny, what about you?
I just think crowd. Because Pipeline is the premier wave anywhere in the world. That's where everybody wants to go out and make a name for themselves. So pretty much every surfer that wants to be, dreams about being a professional surfer is out there trying to make a name for themselves. So it's a crowded place.
What intrigues you the most about Pipeline, Sonny?
For me, I like backdoor, right? I like the right at pipe. So, like Ian's saying, west, northwest, the swell direction, for that place. Anytime pipe is good, there's usually a right on it. So I'm usually sitting waiting for that right.
What about you, Mark? What's the most intriguing element that gets you out there?
It's something about the wave. It's the challenge factor there. Pipeline just has like a special pop to it. And getting a barrel, even though it's not, we travel around the world, we surf all these slabs and chase all these crazy waves, but still there's just something special the way it makes you feel when you come out of a barrel out there. And you got to look like, say Chopo's the craziest left-hand barrel probably in the world, but a lot of Tahitian guys really struggle at Pipeline that are like the most incredible tube riders in the world as far as I'm concerned. It's just different. It's challenging in its own way, and it's always exciting.
Not to mention there's all the houses right there, so the peanut gallery, getting a good wave of pipe, everybody sees it.
So it's in front of everyone. What do you think the most...
That's like the pinnacle kind of displaying your surfing in good, big, scary waves is right there. Everyone's super close. A lot of guys are in the water, and just even getting a good wave out there is a big stepping stone for a young kid that is trying to put his footprints into surfing.
So even just stepping on the sand, you feel like you have eyes on you?
Oh, definitely. That you're running out there, guys are seeing what board you're riding, where you're sitting in the lineup, and the place is definitely the Superdome of our sport.
For you, Mark, let's go back to the early days. Up until now, has anything changed? Is the wave still the same from when you first started surfing it? Any elements that are different nowadays?
The wave's still the same from when I was 12 years old and first going out there. I think the first session we ever had when I was a Grom, it was me, Fuller, Jamie O'Brien, and Jason Frederico, and it was all of our first sessions, and we camped out on the beach in a tent so we could be the first guys out, because it was scary back then. Like, if you're a Grom, Grom's got slapped back then. It's guys like this, you're like...
You keep a good arm's reach.
Exactly.
Like that when you're in the water.
It's funny he says that because, these guys always just complaining to me about not getting waves and stuff. I grew up with Dane Kalo, Marvin Foster, Kalani Foster, Mike and Derek Ho, Buzzy Kerbox, Hans Hitteman, Buttons. I had the gnarliest crew, Laird Hamilton, the gnarliest crew of trying to get waves, and those guys are always out. So the other day I was surfing it, and this one wave came in. I was yelling at somebody to go, and it was a full closeout, and they're like, we're not going. I'm like, those are the waves that I got to take. Those are really like, go on this one, and that's the only shot at getting a wave that I had. So, I laugh when the younger guys say that because there's only a handful of us left that actually run the lineup. So. These guys have it a lot easier nowadays as opposed to before.
So it's a tradition that's actually passed on to you and then to the next generation?
Pipeline has a pecking order.
Totem pole there.
Yeah, there's a pecking order, and I'm glad that I'm finally at the top of that pecking order, for a little bit.
That feels pretty good. What about your early experience, Ian?
Like Sonny said, you just take what you can get. Like the first few times I surfed there when it was solid, I was literally just looking for closeouts. Like, oh, if I can get like a good closeout today, I'll be stoked. You know, and if they give you a chance to get a closeout, you better send it and pack the closeout. That way, next time you're in position and a good one comes, they might let you go because they know you'll drop into it and pull in rather than just burn you. So it's kind of like you set your little precedents by packing some closeouts, and maybe they'll throw you a bone one day. I think I was like 13 on like a head-high little day at backdoor, and I just like found a little window when there wasn't that many people out, and I just got a little shampoo on the right. And I remember thinking like, you know, on Maui there's a few waves that really barrel, but just to be on the North Shore, you just think about like how good it is. It was probably just like a really bad wave, but in my head I was just like, I just got spit out at backdoor. You know, like in your head it's like a 10-foot drainer where you're like this, but really you're just scrunched up in a little ball. I think that just settles in.
Dude, I'm still like that. I swear, there's something about pipeline where, you know, I can go catch waves. I'm like, oh, that was kind of a bomb. Then you see the pictures later and like, holy moly, that was like, I did all right, you know. But I swear I get a barrel up pipe and I'm like, ugh, inside. And then I watch the footage and I'm like, dude, I wasn't even deep on that thing. Like, it just gets me. I don't know, something about it.
It truly is a special wave. You know, every wave that you get there is you know, a good wave, especially when you get to our level. You know, you're taking waves that you think are good, and you know, in our minds, they're always good.
You mentioned some of the guys that you looked up to surfing pipe at a young age. Did you have a breakthrough moment where you got your first wave that felt good?
You know, I've had so many good waves. When I was 12 years old, Brian Kailana took me out of pipe, and it must have been like 6 to 8 feet. I didn't want to surf. I wanted to surf the sandbar, which was good. And he simply told me if I didn't go out and get at least one wave, I was walking back to the west side. So I went out, got one good backdoor wave, got a little barrel, paddled out somehow, squeezed out, got one big left, got like a shampoo, went straight to the sandbar. I was done. I was like, okay, I got my one wave. So, you know, for me, till this day, I mean, it's the fondest moment, you know, of memories of surfing pipe. But since then, I mean, you know, I've had numerous waves, and I'm sure ones that weren't that good, but to me felt like it was, you know, the best wave of my life. And Andy was paddling into this 10-foot double up, and I was yelling, no. I was going, no, 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 and he thought I was saying go.